Hey guys, my name is Doug with Infotainment.com. Today we're working on the 2023 and newer Ford SuperDuty trucks. That's the F-250 through the F-550. Many of you who have the 8-inch touchscreen display do not have factory installed Sirius XM Satellite Radio. Well, here at Infotainment.com, we have the parts and the know-how to be able to get you guys that in very easily and quickly. We'll send you guys a pre-programmed replacement audio control module that has integrated Sirius XM and HD radio. We will send you guys the factory rear driver's side antenna, which features the satellite radio antenna inside of it. Then last but not least, once these are installed, you're going to want to plug in the OBD Genie programmer to program the vehicle to accept the changes so you can benefit from the Sirius XM upgrade. Now, the best part of this is all the wiring is pre-installed from the factory. So swap out your antenna, you'll see a connector there that you could plug in your curry colored antenna. And then right by your existing audio control module will be at the other end of the antenna that you'll just plug right into the curry colored connector on the back of the module. So very easy install, guys. We're gonna show you today on how to do it, so let's get started.
All right, so where we're gonna start is actually right here at this dash bezel that's surrounding your cluster and your radio. This thing pops back and out with a bunch of clips on it. The ACM is actually located right below this top plate. So what we're gonna have to do is pull up this little rubber pad. And right back here, you got two 7mm screws. We'll pull those out. And then this whole rear or upper cover will just snap out the rest of the way. All right, then up underneath that cover, you'll have a little plug that you have to disconnect. And that basically gives us access to the top of our ACM. All right, and you see this bracket right here? This is actually preventing the ACM from coming out. So we're gonna pull this, which is 4 7mm screws also. Once you get those out, the bracket comes right out. And now we have 4 more screws actually holding the ACM down. 2 on either side. There's 7mm as well. All right, now we have complete access to remove our ACM. You can just lift up, pull outwards, and then you have 3 connections on the back. One is this antenna down here, and your 2 connectors on the back. All right, we can set this aside. All right, so with our ACM removed, you can see we have a line down here. It's actually right through this this opening right here. It's a curry colored FAKRA connection, which is an antenna connection. Your truck is actually pre-wired with this antenna line. So at the end of this line here, it is connected to a terminator plug. So it's actually not connected to anything. We need to unplug that so we can plug it into our new ACM. So this may be a little difficult for you to see, but basically we're just unplugging that FAKRA line right there and pulling it up to this space up here so we can plug it into our new ACM. All right, so you can actually see it right here at the top of this connector. You have your button to release it from that terminator plug down there. It's super easy to disconnect just by pulling it back a little bit. I used a pick tool. You can use a flathead. You could even probably fit your fingers down there and just press it, pull it straight back, and you'll have this line very easily accessible to run to your new ACM. But now that we have this up here, I'll grab the new ACM and get all the plugs plugged in. All right, we have all 4 of our plugs here ready to go. We have our new ACM. The antenna colors will match what you have on the vehicle to what is on the ACM. You just plug those in and your connectors back in. And that's it. Now we can reinstall this and we'll be good to go to the rear for the antenna install. All right, so next up, we have to replace the roof antenna. This antenna is the one on your driver's side rear roof of the cab. You have an antenna that has an extra line on here. That same curry colored FAKRA connection that was up front is gonna be back here, also not used. And that's what this antenna provides, is that connection into the antenna. So in order to access that, what we gotta do is pull the seats up and then pull it down. There's a little clip back here we're gonna show you. This large plastic interior trim and this clothes hanger hook back here all has to be removed. You're just trying to get access to the underside of this, so you got to drop the headliner slightly to fit your hand in there. It's a single 10mm screw or bolt holding this antenna on, and we're also going to have to pull this weather stripping back a little bit. So let's get into that install and show you how it's done. All right, so where Robbie's going to start here is just by kind of wiggling the seat up a little bit, not all the way open, and that'll give you some good access to that clip that's holding that seat back. When you get that thing kind of angled upwards, you just want to jiggle that latch a little bit just to unclick it, and that'll free you so you can put the backrest of your seat down. Now we're going to remove the weather stripping and our floor side plate. And this is just held in with retaining clips. If you pop it inwards and kind of wiggle it around. Okay, now we're just going to remove the airbag retention loop. This is held in just by some plastic protrusions. You're just going to want to spin that so it's free, and then you can remove it from your panel. All right, now we have the roof clip that holds on your clothes hangers or what have you. In the center of it, there's a plastic little cover that pops down and out, and behind it you got a T20 Torx screw. So once you get that little cover popped out, pull the screw out, you'll be good to go to pull down your headliner. All right, now with everything removed and out of the way, you can pull down your headliner just enough to reach your arm in there, and you're gonna wanna pull this single 10mm screw out of your antenna. Now they do put thread locker on there, so you're gonna feel some resistance going through it, but once you get it out, it should be pretty straightforward. So you got a little crab leg clip that's holding that bottom part of the antenna on. When you get your 10mm out, that clip will just pull straight out of there. All right, so once you get your antenna free, just like that, now you can pull the whole thing through the roof and reinstall the new one that actually has 2 FAKRA connections on there. All right, so we have our new antenna in hand. I'm gonna drop down our antenna lines, and this, you'll just set back into place. You go back underneath there, and basically the reverse of the removal that you just did, with the addition of that FAKRA line that we're going to reconnect underneath there. All right, now all we got to do is plug in the antenna lines. Make sure to plug in that curry colored one. That is the one that you were missing prior, and that's going to give you your HD radio and satellite radio connectivity. All right, now that we got our antenna installed, you're going to want to just go ahead and reinstall everything that you removed previously. We're just going to work our way back to the front so we can get our Genie programming done to the vehicle. All right, now that we got the vehicle put back together, we're ready for our programming. So I'm going to go ahead and turn the ignition to the on position. And I will run our Genie programmer. When you plug it in, you're going to get a blue light, and what we're waiting for is a green light. Once we get that green light, we know the programming is complete. All right, we got a green light, so we're clear to pull this from the vehicle. And this, even though the vehicle has been programmed, we will save this, stick it in the glove box, just in case for whatever reason we lose programming, we have the ability to reprogram it. All right, so we got our vehicle started and pulled out of our shop so we can get a little bit of reception from our antenna. What you may have to do if your Sirius XM doesn't show up right away in your sources is go to your settings menu. You're gonna go to general. You're gonna scroll all the way down and do a factory reset on your radio. And this will get the correct menu if you don't see it already. This will get that correct radio option to show up. But as you can see, we are in our radio station and HD radio is picking up. So you can switch between HD radio 1 and 2. So that's looking good. We'll go into our satellite radio, and we don't have a subscription in this vehicle, but you can see it is picking that up.
For as low as $6 a month.
And we do have the preview station available. So from here you would sign up or transfer your data from a prior vehicle if you are switching from one account to another, and you'll be good to go.